is up, guys? It's Faith. Thank you so much for watching the vlog. And now I'm going to get into like some details really quickly to help you kind of prepare, I guess, for character auditions if it's something you're thinking about doing or planning on doing. Right off the bat, I just want to say that it is one of the greatest auditioning experiences I've ever had. It was organized, it was really comfortable environment, and just all in all, a positive experience. I would definitely do it again, and like I have nothing but good things to say about it. So I'm just gonna quickly summarize the entire auditioning process, and then I'm gonna go into a few tricks and tips that I think could help you guys, and I wish I kind of knew beforehand. So starting at the beginning of the day, I got there maybe 30 minutes before they even said they were opening the doors. The people in the lobby let us up, and then we kind of just waited in the actual studio lobby until they said, yeah, you guys can come on back to the waiting room. So when we got back to the waiting room, there's going to be a variety of people there. There's going to be people who have been dancing for 15 years. There's going to be people like me who have like musical theater, kind of like, you know, a casual knowledge of the auditioning world. And then there's going to be people who like, this is my first audition, just wanted to try it out. So by no means don't feel overwhelmed or nervous or anything like that, because it's so like chill. But you're in this room. I was number 4 of around 147 people they saw at least. So got in, we sat in there and just waited for them. Some people were stretching. I kind of just made friends, did a little bit of stretching, and then they started handing out numbers. It was in no particular order, just like, you know, depending on where they started in the room. From there, they looked at us in groups of 50. So I was in the first 50. They brought us into another room, and you put your bags down. You have to sign in. So you'll probably do it like on your phone through the Wi-Fi if it's working. Our Wi-Fi wasn't working, so we did it on paper, which was fine. After you sign in, they're going to teach you a 16 count combination, or at least they did for us. I thought that the count that they taught us later in the day was a lot easier, but this one was like a simple kind of parade style thing, like some grapevines, clap, turn, clap, clap type of stuff. So yeah, you'll do that in groups of 3, and the casting director will be on one side of the room, and you'll line up in a group of 3, and you guys will do it about 3 times, or however many times it takes you to get to her, and then you'll wrap back around and get back in line. They only had us do it once, and then from there they made their first cuts. They were calling out the numbers. So if they called your number, it meant that they wanted to see more from you. If they didn't call your number, they said, you know, thank you so much for coming, really appreciate seeing you, and hopefully we'll see you in Florida. From there, we grabbed our things and we went to a waiting room. We were in the waiting room for maybe like, it went by quick because we had so much fun in there, but it was probably like an hour, maybe an hour and a half too. The people in my group asked if we could make like a big circle, and we all kind of just sat around and said our name, what school we went to, how old we were, and just kind of chatted. It was a lot of fun. Again, such a positive experience. After that, from the cuts, they took maybe, I want to say, maybe like 25, 30 of us, if that. And we all waited. Then they brought in another group after those like hour and a half. And they looked to be about 25, 30 people as well. Once they came in, they handed out like auditioning paperwork. So it was like your name, how old you are, you know, your address, your email address, things of that nature. And then the only thing that we didn't fill out was like our height, because they were gonna measure us. So once we were done with that, we lined back up in numerical order, and we went back into the studio. When we went back into the studio, there were another group of 30 people who they had just finished seeing in that final group. From there, we lined up in numerical order, and they measured us. It's the same thing that's at the doctor's office. You know, you stand straight. They got our height. They took pictures of any tattoos we had, and then a headshot as well. After that, we moved into animation. So they talked to us about animation first. Animation is kind of like miming, I guess, or it's basically for the fur characters. So like the Mickey Mouses and the Goofies. You need to be able to tell a story with your whole body, not just a scripted, things they tell you to say. So this is like a completely silent thing. You have to be able to be like, oh, I'm making a big balloon and I'm tying it and it's on a string, like that kind of stuff. So our animation challenge was kind of Incredibles themed. It was the Incredible music. And your first half was your day job, so you can be an accountant or like a crossing guard or whatever. And then halfway through, you need to get a call or an alert or some kind of signal to switch into a superhero and go do whatever it is, the task that you need to go do. So it was a lot of fun. And then after that, she talked to us about the longer choreographed dance. It was, 32 count, I want to say. I thought that one was easier only because I don't have any like dancer training. I don't do ballet or tap or anything like that. Any experience I have with dancing is my own like rhythm and what I've picked up through musical theater. So I thought that one was easier because there was a lot of like bouncing, a lot more like room for personality and kind of like not as like technical. So I liked the second one even though it was longer. So we worked on that for about an hour. And then we did, we split up. One side of the room did it as like a practice round. The other half of the room did it as like a practice round. And then they finally broke us up. So they did 5 at a time, 3 in the front, 2 in the back. You did your animation first and you only did it once. And then you did, and then you did your dance. So you did it once and then you switched. The people in the front go to the back and the people in the back go to the front. After that, they said if we need anything else from you, we will call you to the side. It's not a good or a bad thing. It just means that we need some more information. It could be as simple as, is this the correct birth year? What is this number in your email? Or, do you like children? Like, it could be anything. So my group, they didn't need anything else from us. They thanked us so much. They said we looked good. I thanked them because it was like literally the most positive auditioning experience I've ever had. And then we went on our way. So again, I would 1,054% recommend going, even if you're kind of on the fence. It's an experience and it's a positive one, at least for most people. And I haven't, even the people who got cut had a good time. Like it wasn't one of those situations where they left with, angry or sad or upset. It was very much like, thank you guys for coming. And just because you didn't get character actor doesn't mean you won't get into the program. And it doesn't mean that we won't see you in the fall or in the spring. So again, I would 1,004% recommend attending auditions. It was not as scary as it seemed, and it was tons and tons of fun. All right, guys, so lastly, I'm just gonna go over a few super quick tips about what I wish I knew or things that I think would help you. I would 1,001% recommend first that you get there early. I enjoyed being in that first 50 group. I think it was beneficial. But even if you're not in the first 50, it's still good to get there and not be rushed or hectic. You want to be relaxed, be chill, get a drink of water, use the bathroom, breathe, get to talk to some people, stretch, whatever your routine is, you want the opportunity to get to do that. Not rule number 2, but a tip number 2 would be to bring water and a snack, multiple bottles of water, and a snack just for if you do get the opportunity to get a break. I was starving by the time I left there, and I had a good breakfast, and I had like a little snack on the train, and I was famished, like the hungriest I've ever been after an audition. But 1,004% would also recommend bringing some stuff, something light. You don't need like a whole sandwich, but if a sandwich is gonna do the job, then you can bring a sandwich. But I would say something on the lighter side, maybe like some grapes or something like that, and a lot of water. Tip number 3 would be prepared that you will be dancing in a studio. If you're a dancer or have musical theater background, then you probably already know this, but you will be dancing in a studio and those floors are kind of slippery. So the studio we were at did not care if you used your sneakers, as long as they weren't like filthy. So we were fine in sneakers, but some studios are very like no street shoes. And then on top of that as well, I'm not going to recommend that you do socks because you might slip, and nobody really wants to slip. And and the third thing being that barefoot is kind of hard to do in the studio too. So if you have dancing shoes, I would highly recommend bringing your dancing shoes. If you don't, I would not recommend buying anything. This is going to be like a one-day experience. If you don't already have those, you shouldn't feel the need to. I know that they sell dancer socks. They can kind of be expensive, but you can also make dancer socks, which I'm sure you can find a DIY on YouTube somewhere. But if you cut off the heel and the foot of like a well-made sock, you will have kind of like that, whatever. I'm not doing a tutorial right now. But understand that you will be dancing in the studio, so bring whatever it is you think that you might need to dance comfortably in a studio. I don't know if I'm on 3 or 4. I think 4. But 4 would be to dress in athletic wear. This is all online. Some of the tips I'm giving you from Disney of what to bring and what you should do. But I would say dress comfortably, wear active wear. Some people recommend wearing something that's going to make you stand out. I literally wore a black, you guys saw the black quarter zip, that was kind of like stretchy fabric, and then black leggings that just so happen to have like a kind of rainbow stripe and a little sheer panel on the bottom. There was nothing there was nothing extremely fascinating about you know, my outfit, and I'm still able to do all the cuts and make it through. So yeah, those would be my main tips. They're literally, it's such an easygoing experience that I honestly, even if you mess up everything, even if you don't do anything the way you planned it, if you forget something at home, whatever, it's going to be fine, and I promise you're gonna have a good time. I promise. And if you don't, I'm highly surprised and I'm confused because I literally, even the people who got cut, still enjoyed the process. And I think even if you do get cut or even if you don't have the best time, it's still an experience. And that's what life's all about, living and learning. So I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog and this little tip and summary session. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I love talking to you guys. And I will see you in the next video. Side note, I also recently got accepted to the Disney College program, which is so exciting. So I'll be vlogging come January when I'm down there, and I'll also have a few tags and things to do beforehand for you guys. So I will see you next time. Have a good one. Peace.